Hello and welcome to the United Stand. We're back once again with one of those block rocking beats. We're back live again. I can't believe it. It's the funny season. Manchester United apparently are going to hijack Romelu Lukaku's move to Manchester United, give Wayne Rooney to Manchester United and sign Romelu Lukaku for £100 million. But it gets much better than that. Morata's about to sign in the next few hours, according to the Real Madrid mouthpiece Marca. So it's all going off. It's all going off. And where do we start? And I tell you what, nobody's picked up on this one yet. Whatever you think about Lukaku, and I've got to be honest, I'm not convinced, which I'll come to in a minute. If the brilliance of the Lukaku deal, if it happened, in my mind, personally, is if we annoy Chelsea and take Lukaku off them, there's zilch chance we're getting Matic. So there is that positive as well. But where's it all coming from? What's going on? I think a lot of you will be happy about that. It's funny, isn't it? Only a couple of hours ago, I was saying relax, hang in there, it'll be fine, we'll get there in the end. But I've also been saying since the Rooney news broke that we do need two strikers. Morata isn't enough when you've only got Rashford and Martial. We need four. If we get, well, remember a few months ago we were on about Belotti and Morata. I think Lukaku and Morata would, I don't have massive problems with it. I'm probably not as excited as everybody else, which I'll come to in a minute. But I don't have a problem with signing Lukaku if we're signing two strikers, because I'd have major concerns with Lukaku if he was just going to be our #1 choice. The interesting thing is, if you spend 100 million on Lukaku and you spend 75 million, which is what it's going to take to get Morata, 175 million on two strikers and one of them's on the bench, and what happens to Rashford? There's head gone, head blown. I tell you what my theory is though, straight away. I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening at all. I think Manchester United are struggling to get Morata for a fair price. I think Chelsea are holding out on a fair price for Lukaku. I think Raiola is very close to Manchester United, and I think this is all about getting Real Madrid to get a little bit hot under the collar that we might go for Lukaku, and getting Chelsea panicking as well, so that Everton get a decent price for Lukaku and we get a decent price for Morata. I'm just throwing it out there. I think that's what this is all about. Lukaku is in the Daily Mirror, which, it's the Mirror. It's in the Daily Mail, which, again, it's the Mail. I don't recall them getting exclusives on any United deals recently. I don't want to bring the mood down because I could be totally wrong. But how can we justify spending 175 million on two strikers when we only play one up front? And I don't think Lukaku works as a two-striker system up front. He's too big. He's a perfect #9. He's the perfect player to play up front on his own, sorry. I don't think he works in a front two. So I just don't see it. I'm excited by it, but I just don't see it. And Morata is apparently going to be signing very soon. This is from Marca. Arkis Elwood's bored. Well, go to bed then, Arkis. It's probably past your bedtime. But there's lots going on. Lewis Firth says it's probably all mind games, which I've got to say, look, my concern if we sign Lukaku, first of all, would be what I've said all along. I think he's a bit of a big game bottler, but even if you want to argue about that and I accept, all right, maybe that's a bit harsh on him. The big thing that really concerns me about Lukaku is that Robert McPhee's just made a contribution. Thank you for that on the Super Chat. He says, next few hours, we've been here before, Mark. How can it be the next few hours anyway? Everyone's going to bloody bed in the next few hours, so it'll be tomorrow if it's any day with Morata. But back to Lukaku, the big concern I have with Lukaku is, and I've watched him a lot, and if you've been watching the United Stand long enough, you'll know that I think it was last summer or the summer before, I was a big fan of signing Lukaku. And what I've noticed with him over the last couple of years is that he never turns up against United and doesn't tend to turn up in the big games. He's playing for Everton. Teams have a go at Everton. He gets isolated up front on his own a lot, but he'll get into situations where he's one-on-one or 1 against 2, and there's a lot of space for him to get in behind. Look at United. Most teams will park the bus. This is where Lukaku becomes pretty ineffective unless you're going to put decent crosses into the box, which we haven't done. Teams that play deep, Lukaku can't get in behind, and the biggest flaw in Lukaku's game is his first touch is abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. United, when they're playing against teams who play deep, need a #9 who the ball will stick to. Now, Morata can do that. I'm not convinced Lukaku can. That would be my concern. But if Mourinho goes for him, I'd back it. I just can't see we're going to sign two. Very exciting though. Very, very exciting. And as Community Devil says, if this is true, it will be unreal next season. And also, you may not realise that apparently Corriere dello Sport, who did leak it about Fabinho a couple of weeks ago, and we were all like, why would the Italian papers know about Fabinho? They're saying that United are going in with another offer for Fabinho, so that's quite encouraging. But the biggest thing, the biggest reason I would love to hijack the deal for Lukaku is it would annoy Chelsea and we wouldn't get Matic, and I don't want Matic, so we'll see what happens with that. But Morata in the next few hours. I think tomorrow was probably the day that everybody thought it was going to be anyway, and it's clearly a deal that's been going on for a long, long time. And it would make sense if it was tomorrow. In fact, Marca is also reporting that Mourinho has kept in constant contact with Morata in recent weeks because Morata's been getting nervous about the deal, reassuring him the situation will be resolved and he will be a Manchester United player. Yeah, I think Morata will be a United player. I think we wouldn't be surprised at all if it was going to happen. Neil Custis has also just come out. He came out with... this is big news as well. Guys, all going off tonight. Neil Custis, if he gets it right about Rooney, he deserves the credit, I must just say. I know he writes for The Sun. I know a lot of people don't like The Sun. But for the last few years, we've been going on about how great Di Marzio is. And he absolutely is. But if Rooney leaves for Everton, Neil Custis at The Sun deserves a lot of credit. And you can't not say that he doesn't. He's come out with another cracker now. He says that Michael Carrick is Manchester United's new captain and Herrera will be vice-captain, which effectively means that Herrera will be captain because Carrick won't play every week. So that is massive news, if true as well. And he's clearly getting his sources from United. Who'd have thought it? The Sun, eh? That would be very interesting. Let me have a look. I'm just having a quick look. It's all going on, all going on. So yeah, I'd be very, very happy with Herrera as captain for Manchester United. Talk about Weigl as well. Manchester United's latest offer for Morata is now 75 million euro. So we're getting very close to the 80 million euro that Real Madrid wants, which is 70 million pounds. I mean, how could you then go and spend another 100 on another striker? Michael Carrick is going to be the new captain. We've got that. That is actually breaking now. And can you believe these signings? Van Persie. Yeah, we're not signing Van Persie again. Yeah, let me come back. I mean, it's good. I'm glad I went off there just to give you a little bit about that. What's going on, says Andy Barnett. So Manchester United apparently hijacking the Lukaku deal to Chelsea. Morata due to sign in the next few hours, which must be tomorrow. Michael Carrick, new captain. Herrera, vice-captain, which means Herrera will be captain most of the time. So positive vibes. I mean, that Herrera thing would be fantastic. Morata getting done, very, very pleased. But I did speak about it 2 hours ago, and £70 million is too much. But, you know, it's better than the 50 million for Perisic. I mean, Morata is more believable when you consider that Arsenal have just played 52 million for a pub league player. So it's probably about right for Morata. I wouldn't moan about that one too much. Will we sign James Rodriguez, says Modestas Petrates? No, I don't think we will. But Lukaku will come to United in a deal with Rooney going the other way, says Josh Coulthard. And if United get Morata for 80 million, cater to the LFC for 70 million looks like a bargain, says Bailey Huggins, maybe he's a United fan. And well done. Well, we've hit 100,000 and 108,000 subscribers as well, apparently, which is, well, that's nice for the United stand, but it doesn't really get us any further in relation to the transfer news. Few people not happy about the Lukaku. What's your source, Mark, says David. I have already said it, but I'll repeat it for you. So the Morata deal being done in the next few hours is Marca, who are very close to Real Madrid. The Lukaku news is from Daily Mail and Daily Mirror. Neither of which I would be confident about, if I'm totally honest. And just to clarify what I said before, this to me I don't think is happening. I think this is about Raiola getting a favour from United, forcing Chelsea's hand, and as also forcing Madrid to sell Morata by using, oh, we're going to get Lukaku instead. I think that's what it's all about. I can't see a situation where we'd spend nearly £200 million on Morata and Lukaku. And I also don't think 175, I suppose, it wouldn't be right. 175 million pounds shouldn't just get you Morata and Lukaku, should it? I mean, it really shouldn't, and that would be madness. But we'll have to wait and see. Apparently, look, another reason we're linked to Lukaku, he's just been on holiday, or he is on holiday with Pogba. We're selling Everton Rooney. He plays for Everton. I mean, it's paper talk. It's paper talk, surely. But it would be stunning. It would be absolutely stunning of Manchester United to go and sign Morata and Lukaku. And let's not forget, both 24. Maybe Lukaku's 23, but 24. Both prolific goal scorers. I mean, whatever my doubts about Lukaku are, he scored a lot of goals last season and the season before. Jared Pesserman says, Mark, I think if we sign Morata and James, no way do we keep De Gea. I think Madrid are pushing up price to screw us on De Gea. I hate Madrid more than Liverpool. I'm glad you thank you for the contribution, Jared, but I'm glad you mentioned that as well. Richard Keys came out before sort of hinting that we're going to sign Kasper Schmeichel and that De Gea will go to Real Madrid. I mean, say what you like about Richard Keys, but he did also say in June that Ronaldo will definitely leave Madrid and that we'd sign Morata on June the 10th. Neither of which happened, and I take it with a pinch of salt with him, to be honest. Morata and Perisic not worth that much, says God's Power to Tagbus. Well, we spoke about that earlier. If you didn't watch the half 8 show, that's a longer show, watch it. Lots of things explained there. But what I do pick up from the live comments is that a lot of people would be happy with Lukaku. For me, as I said, it just feels contrived, because we know that Chelsea probably don't want to spend 100 million on him, and we know that United are trying to get Morata, and we know that we're close to Mini Raiola, who is Lukaku's agent, and to chuck Lukaku to United in there probably prompts Chelsea to get their act together and Real Madrid to get their act together in selling as Morata. But if we did it, I'm not massively keen on Lukaku, but I have been saying for a long time now that if we did sign Lukaku, I'll back him. Same with Matic. Don't really want Matic, but I'll back him because Mourinho wants him. And I think the great thing about if we did sign Lukaku and Morata is we've got 2 strikers. It opens up a hornet's nest of after reaction about what it means for people like Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial, of which I'm massive fans of, and I don't want to see their game time limited. But this summer was potentially always going to be pretty rough in some ways for some United fans, because Mourinho is our manager. Mourinho has his own ideas, and Mourinho's been at United for a year, and Mourinho will do what Mourinho wants to do, as we've seen with Fellaini for the last year. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it'll be frustrating. But I wouldn't count on Rashford. I don't think Mourinho will really have that much thought for Rashford and Martial if he wants Lukaku and Morata. I'm sure he'll play them, but that won't be his concern. Tamid prefers Hernandez rather than Lukaku, and if Lukaku is 100 million, then Morata is a bargain at 80 million, says Akib, which is very true. Do I think that Dembele from says Kamar S from Dortmund is possible? Anything is possible, but Morata's done, says Shane Poscott, on a 5-year deal, and I have seen the article about Morata. Thank you from Marker. I think United just need to find another 5 million, don't they? Which is, I'm sure we'll do it. Tomorrow would make sense. Let's get him on that. Let's get him on that tour. Let's get him on the tour. Michael Carrick's actually trending higher than Lukaku at the moment on Twitter, which is interesting. Somebody on Twitter is just saying that Marca are always first with Real Madrid news because they've got special privileges with the club, and the Morata news is from Marca, as I said. Why am I not getting updates? Should be getting better updates than that. Don't care about what I missed. A few people moaning about Carrick being captain. Look at the bigger picture. Herrera's the vice captain, therefore Herrera's the captain. Carrick won't play very much. Yep. Okay, let me bring it back. There's another update here. It'll be 80 million euro for Morata and a 5-year deal. And a lot of United fans buying into the Lukaku thing. A little bit dangerous, to be honest. I don't think it will happen, but it could happen. Anything can happen, I suppose. but I don't think it will. And I'd have massive concerns, absolutely massive concerns about his first touch, like I say. But we'll wait and see what happens. And it's anything if it's not interesting. We're not meant to do shows at this time of night, but I have been doing it for 3 years, and there tends to be news coming out sometimes around 10:30, and some of it's nonsense and some of it's true. I think the Rooney one from last night will be true. Talk about the USA tour, says Kenny567. Yeah, we will talk about the USA tour, but I think we'll wait until we know who's going on that tour first. And Mark, do you think Lukaku would score many goals with Mkhitaryan and Herrera and Pogba in the team, says Tom Sampson. I think Lukaku would score goals for United, and the one thing he did, he's a flat track bully. He scores against the teams we couldn't score against last season. I swear if Perisic wears the number 7 shirt, I'm never going to watch United again, says Michael Jack's son. And Marco Goldbridge, says Tava. Yeah, Marco Goldbridge, if it happens. I have seen the Marca article. I've quoted it about 10 times, Josh. So unless there's something I've not mentioned, don't just say, have you seen the Marca article about Morata? Tell me what's in there, unless I've probably already said it. Mark, we want players to score against the smaller teams. Lukaku is that player. I feel sorry for the people who are getting a bit excited about Lukaku, to be honest, because I'll be happy if we sign him. I just think it's a smokescreen. And the simple reason is, how on earth could we justify spending 175 million on 2 strikers when we've already got Marcus Rashford, and we won't play 2 up front? Lukaku's not a 2 up front player. Morata could be. I think Morata and Belotti, Morata and Rashford, 2 up front could work. But Lukaku's too... He's fast, but he takes a while to get going. He's very strong. He's combative. He's the perfect number 9 on his own up front, not as a not as 2 up front. And then why would Morata sign if he's going to be number 2, or why would Lukaku sign if he's going to be number 2? And what about Rashford's future? I just think it's a bit of a misdemeanor, but I'll be happy. I'll be happy. And also, let's not forget, it is in the Mirror and it is in the Mail. And I've got to be honest with you. They might be right, but they're very wrong a lot of the time. I've missed the super chat, which I need to read out. And that is from Jared Pesserman. No, I've done that one. Peter Sander, thank you, Peter. He says 175 million for them. Go spend 210 million on Mbappe and Dembele. That's how close it is. Yeah, thank you very much for that. So, interesting evening. Well, worth going live for, wasn't it? Carrick, new Manchester United captain with Herrera as vice-captain. Manchester United hijacking the Lukaku deal, and Morata to happen in the next few days. From 1 to... Valdemir's just said, from 1 to 10, how highly would you rate the Morata transfer? I'm 9 out of 10 that I think that'll happen. Lukaku, 3 out of 10. Yeah, I don't think it will happen. I'll be happy if it does, but I don't think it will happen. But Morata, I think will happen. United stands closing in on 1,000 videos apparently, which is amazing. Drop a like on the video if you like us doing this later on in the night. We're obviously always live at 8:30, and maybe we'll have to shorten that show down a bit, because if we're going to have to go live again at this time every night as well, it's it sort of kills the... Do watch the 8:30 show, because I don't want to do a show and then 2 hours of doing another one and then that doesn't get watched. It sort of wastes the 40 minutes I've spent on that, if it makes any sense. So if you've not watched that, please go on and watch that. Kieran Byrne says we're going to do a 3-5-2. Mark my words. I accept that, Kieran. In fact, I did the image of it, didn't I? I don't even know if I've still got it. Let me show it you. Yeah, so that I did a 3-5-2 a few weeks ago, and that well, no, that could be the team, to be honest. But Morata and Rashford works quite well. But Morata and Lukaku, who is left-sided, it could work. I'll tell you what, I'd be excited to see it. But I think Lukaku's better as a front one, if I'm totally honest with you. But we'll see. We'll be back again, 7 AM tomorrow, Transfer Daily. There'll probably be something else to report. But at the moment, it's interesting, isn't it? A hat-trick of news. Carrick, new captain. Herrera, vice-captain. Morata, probably be a Manchester United player tomorrow, and Lukaku could well be as well. Although I'm not convinced, but dream the dream if you want it to happen. Zane says he's 7 out of 10 that Lukaku would happen. I mean, I never go above 5 anyway, because 50-50, unless I'm really certain. thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all tomorrow, 7 AM, back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Get commenting below, give us your thoughts, lots to digest. And just keep supporting the channel, getting involved, subscribe, like the videos. And I'll see you tomorrow at 7 AM. I'm getting tired. I tell you what, I'm getting tired. It's demanding, but it's only for a few months every summer. Thanks for watching. Add the red says I look like Lukaku. Oh God, Jesus wept.